Have you ever wondered why some women consistently achieve their goals while others get stuck in a cycle of excuses? Today we are going to explore a concept that separates the top 1% from the rest. The invisible standard is not talent, looks, or special circumstances. It's something you too can build starting today. Subscribe and turn on notification because this could radically change how you approach each day of your life. This is a series about the invisible standard, which I'll divide into 8 chapters. Let's begin with the first one. Chapter 1: The Oscillation of the Average Man. Most men life governed by an unwritten but deeply ingrained law, the law of the least least contextual effort. Their personal standard is not a fixed line, but an emotional roller coaster that rises and falls according to fleeting variables. The fluctuating standard is the true silent enemy of the masculine potential. Imagine a man, let's call him Jerry, who wakes up on Monday feeling fresh and renewed. He slept well, the sun streaks through the window, and he feels the rare sensation of motivation that something visited without warning. Today will be different. Today he feel everything planned. Woke up at 6 a.m. Deep work from 8 to 12. Healthy lunch, nightline reading. His standard is as expected. But life rarely cooperates with our best impulse. By 3 p.m., the initial energy has evaporated. A frustrating meeting and unpleasant email accumulate fatigue. Now, this same man is not longer the one on the morning. The standard has dropped. I'll start exercising tomorrow. He tells himself while postponing the alarm for another hour. One day, one's hard. He reflects while choosing fast food over the prepared salads. This pattern repeats over with months and years. One day of discipline followed by 3 of indulgence. A productive week followed by a month of stagnation. The graph of his life is not absence line, but a chaotic electrocardiogram. Sporadic peaks of excellence separated by prolonged valleys of comfortable mediocrity. What variable control this oscillation standard? First, physical fatigue. The body demands comfort, and the modern mind has learned to listen to these demands. Every muscle ache, every heavy eyelid becomes sufficient reason to abandon what was planned. We don't understand that fatigue, like motivation, is a transient state that can be overcome with action, not something to be obeyed as a divine mandate. Second mood: sadness, anxiety, frustration, simple apathy, all become executioner of discipline. I don't feel well, transform into a free pass to break from promise. We forgot that historically humanity's greatest achievement rarely occurred in a state of permanent euphoria, but in the cold fulfillment of duty regardless of the internal emotional weather. Third, the excuse of the day: the human mind is ingenious of manufacturing justification. Is that I have a lot of work, or today is a special day. I start on Monday. These excuses are not conscious lies, but psychological protection mechanisms that defend us from the discomfort of growth. Fourth, social pressure. We look around and see permissiveness, friend counseling plans, and the last minute colleagues arriving late, family members abandoning projects. A collective standard normalized as our own, creating an illusion that we are all like that. But statistically, truth shows that eyes, most are like that, and that's why most claim mediocre results. First, first, we could misunderstood spontaneity in the era of living in the moment and following your passion. We have demonized routine, structure, discipline, repetition. We confuse freedom with absence of commitment and creativity without organized chaos. We don't see we don't see that the fierce praise artists often have the most ironclad discipline and the most creative mind often operate within self-imposed structures. This variable standard creates a fragmented identity. The man doesn't really know who he is because today he is disciplined and tomorrow lazy, today brave and tomorrow fearful, today integral and tomorrow compromising. This inconsistency is not just a problem of results, it is an existential problem. A man who cannot predict his own action is a stranger to himself. And here lies the most dangerous trap. Each successful negotiation with oneself weak- weakens the authority for the next one. The brain learns pattern. If today you negotiated going for a run and laziness one, tomorrow it will be easier to negotiate with the diet. If this week you abandon the personal project, next week it will be natural to postpone the family one. This incremental erosion creates what psychologists call learned helplessness, but at a personal ethical level. You learn that your words has not value, that your commitment are optional, that your future self will always forgive your present self. An internal divorce is establishment between the person you want to be and the person you allow yourself to be. The tragedy is not in the lost day. We also lose day, but in the normalization of loss. When the variable standard becomes identity demand, stop fighting against it. He resigns himself to being like that. And good guy with bad habits, a person with unrealized potential, a dreamer who never builds. But there is another. But there is another way.